7.
Okay.
So I've got a few years behind
You
me
do.
with miracles that God created for us in the past in order to survive. We went through the war and we're escaping the war. My sister wrote a book about it, about our life in the past. So we had plenty of experiences in life to indicate God being in the background watching us. What I'm presenting over here, or I shouldn't say presenting, I'm just trying to get you introduced to another modality of testing, and that's only an electronic type of device that I've tried to use for help for DL primarily. It started out, and there's two different devices, well, several devices, but the one that I started with is a simple one like this. Simple box. You hold it in your hand, and it does 100 pages of information out of that by holding it only less than 2 minutes. So I started with this device, which was an earlier one. Then I ended up going to a newer one, because that one was CD driven. Unless the computer has a CD driven that you can plug it into, it would not work. So I found that they updated it, and I got into this device where you just clip it on your finger, like a lot of doctors do, and check your blood pressure and things like that. And that I thought was very handy, so I tried to get a couple of them and ended up finding out they're only a couple $100. But the information that I get out of it is 100 pages of information. Unfortunately, I'm not a scientist or doctor or anything else, but it gives you a comprehensive information by printing out two or three pages, depending how much problem you have. And it gives you information as to comprehensive information. I haven't, my glasses, I don't.
Can I read some of the items on there?
Sure. This is just a comprehensive, so this is a type.
System: cardiovascular, cerebral vascular, gastrointestinal function, liver function, gallbladder function, lung function, the lungs with the vital capacity VC, the oxygen content, pH, CO2, etc., etc., etc. Rheumatoid bone density, degree of lumbar calcification, vitamins, B1, C, K, the range and all of that stuff. Amino acid profile, complete amino acid profile, heavy metal profile, skin moistness, skin elasticity, skin harmonious, eyes, lymphatic obstructions, eye cell activity, visual fatigue, on and on and on, a whole list of collagens.
This is the only three, like the first pages, that's your worst condition that you have to take care of. But then it gives you all the details in another 48 categories of different parts of the body that they're testing, and it gives you printout. And the part that I liked about it, if you're going in a particular part that you aren't aware of, or you haven't been exposed to or don't know what it is, they come up with a printout of what it is.
I'm gonna show it to him, but I'm gonna say this first. This is the page about the cardiovascular system, blood viscosity, cholesterol crystals, blood fat, vascular resistance, vascular elasticity, myocardial blood demand, blood volume perfusion, stroke volume, left ventricle injection and peak. Wow! Can you see that?
From which machine?
The second machine he showed us. And then it gives you various ranges. What's abnormally low, what's normal, what's abnormally high.
In other words, it's a doc in a box.
Precisely.
Yeah, exactly.
The reason I felt that this is valid because it gives you something that you go to the doctor other than going, I'm here, I'm sick.
I see.
Give me something.
Yes.
You don't know. You can get some idea of the things that you have problems with, that you can take care of yourself. Vitamins, minerals,
Yes.
all the different categories and things.
Now, how long does it take you to run a report, and then how comprehensive, how expensive would it be to have all of these pages printed out so that you can give the subject person?
Well, to actually do that, that's where the expense comes
Aha.
in. And you don't want to work with that kind of stuff. All you're interested in is, well, how do I get well? What's the worst things? Those are the first 3 pages that you print out. Or the computer says, this is what's bad, so you can end up looking at that, and if you understand more of your body's nature and things, and God's willingness to cure you or whatever, then you end up looking at the first 3 pages, and you can minimize that kind of stuff for going to the doctor, because usually when you go to the doctor, I'm hurting. Yeah, it's over here. You know, I don't have anything to go by, but this gives you something to look at. Previously, I wouldn't believe the thing, but I had, part of the problem with this is it's made in Germany, so it's got German things the way they look at the body, not the way Americans do, and they have different items other than the basic, you know, vitamins and things like that, that you can say, you know, this is low, that's high, I need some more vitamins. And that's basically what it is. And the book that I have has got all this stuff printed out of one. This is one of my tests that I did some time ago, and that's the reason it's got rained on, so it's slightly damaged, but still readable.
If somebody wanted to, now or in the future, if somebody wanted to have you do this test for them so that they can be better equipped when they do go to a healthcare provider, how do they get in contact with you? Are you just going to do it here? Do you go to people's houses? Do they come to your house? How can they involve themselves in what you have to offer?
Well, if I need to get involved, and part of it is time. The biggest issue is time for me, because the more people that find out about this, but this is cheap enough where every family can have one of these devices, because you spend more than $100 for a doctor, but you have to learn about it, and it's not too difficult because the computer actually does all the work. All you do is to do the testing is put it on the finger, and it's within a minute and a half. You can print out 100 pages if you want that much information. You don't need all that information because you know certain things that are the basics that the body is lacking, and you can take and go with that. So even if you get 2 or 3 pages printed out, which is not expensive, then usually you would do it for yourself. I've got another machine that basically it takes an hour, actually 45 minutes, just for testing.
If a person was to buy a machine like this and go from house to house, or from people that we have leads for, would it be possible to have them, once you run this, to hook this up for, if they, a lot of people have a computer and a printer.
Yeah.
And they can print out what you have, the information you have, and you don't have to leave the machine with them or anything, but that gives them the diagnosis and what to do about it there, I mean, you know what you're at least going to talk to the doctor about. You've got some, more of a concept of what's
No doubt.
really happening. So you say, this is what my readings are, that they can take to their doctor or whatever, therapy, therapist they're going to go to, so that they know what they're treating and how to go about treating you by having that information.
Well,
Let me answer that, please. Joy, from a therapeutic standpoint, if I came to your clinic with a full report like this, would you look at me and throw it in the garbage can? How would you respond to that? She's a clinician.
Basically, that's what I wanted to see if you took this to your provider, would they accept it? They would do their own labs. Because of suits and liability, this would probably be for the times ahead where there are no providers out there and you want a quick look to see what's going on and then treat it from that point.
Yes.
But to get such an extensive report and take it to your provider, unfortunately, they would want to do their own testing because, okay, it may say, let's say you are deficient in something, an amino acid or a vitamin or something, and in fact, you're not. Is this FDA approved? I mean, they want to go from the science perspective because so many people, America's middle name is Sue. And they're going to want, I mean, it just opens up a can of worms for liability. But if it's something that I personally would want,
Yes.
it will give me a guideline.
Yes.
And when we get to that point where people are running to us and we don't have the room, as Monica said,
That's right.
absolutely, and a lot of common sense comes into place.
Amen.
Is this from Germany? Is this online? Can people buy this on Amazon?
it's on Amazon.
What's the name of it? I missed the name.
This is called a quantum resonant magnetic testing.
Quantum?
Magnetic resident testing.
Resonant meaning it's in tune with a specific frequency.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
Okay.
testing. So it's a device that's available. You can get them for $59, some of them, but I don't know how.
Very well.
They're not necessarily this.
Yes.
Has a solid state or a memory chip that they basically provide for the program.
I see.
So you actually have to install the program on the computer.
Very well.
So it's not just testing without any computer interface.
Okay.
So all this is hooked up with a computer
Interface,
to
yeah.
give you information. Anyway,
Thank you very much, Dan. Appreciate you immensely. Amen. You could set up on the table right here by the door if you want. And they can go and ask questions, whatever. I'm